Following the expulsion of Alliance for Change Member of Parliament Charandas Prasad, a new government MP was sworn in to take his place. And this week's InfoHub Extended, we take a look into the life of Barbara Pilgrim, an ardent community activist from New Amsterdam, Berbice.
Dogs again, and no mailbox.
Don't let this happen to you.
I'm so happy that I get this mailbox. Now I get all my mails. You know how much times GPL come and disconnect me life because I couldn't get my bill?
I will notice. Anyways, girl, the post office encouraging all residents to install a mailbox so they can improve their service to us.
Get your mailbox today and help the Guyana Post Office to serve you better.
Born in the rural community of Sandvoort Village, West Kanji, Berbice, Barbara Patricia Pilgrim became a household name very early in her teens, as she was a very active member of her community. That love for people and their well-being would soon propel her into the rigid path of politics years later. But who is Barbara Pilgrim? InfoHub took its camera to the ancient county recently to meet with a mother and grandmother who has spent all of her adult life giving back to the community.
My first job was teaching, and then afterwards I became a cooperative officer. And then I migrated for a couple of years and I came back. And now I am the Regional Community Development Officer. Well, my mother brought me into politics, and I've been there from the age of 19 until now. I'm what you might call a political animal, or, you know, if there's such a word, I'm what you might call a political animal. I love politics. The only thing is that I have been in one party from the time I know myself in politics up to now.
But apart from her mother's influence, Miss Pilgrim said her interest in politics was also rooted in her love for her fellow humans.
I like to be engaged in making my community better. As I said, I was born in a little community called Sandvoort, and then afterwards I came to New Amsterdam because of the YSM and things like that. But during the 1960s, when I saw what was happening to our country, this big racism, burning cane fields, killing of each other, and things like that, I thought that I could make a contribution, because just adjacent to Sandvoort is Le Cabo. And my grandmother that I grew up with used to be the person who used to go to Le Cabo and sort of help these ladies when they get their baby. She would go and wash for them, and you know, the older people used to put you in hot water and all of that. So we had this knit community between the people of Sandvoort, Le Cabo, Vryhead, and things like that. And that is sort of what propelled me to be involved so that I could make a difference in our community.
Moving out from the tiny village of Sandvoort, Miss Pilgrim ventured to New Amsterdam, a town most would consider to be the capital of Region 6. Her community activism did not end in Sandvoort. In fact, it grew stronger in the ancient county. It was in New Amsterdam that she started both her little family and a new life in politics.
I remember when I got into Dunkonks, I was pregnant with my first daughter. When I came out, she got her first son. So that was a lifetime of service to the community of New Amsterdam, which spanned about 21 years. I came from being a councillor, chairman of various committees, to deputy mayor, and then finally to mayor. Well, the time I spent as mayor, the country at that time was going through some challenges, and so even New Amsterdam. It was 1986 to 1989 I was mayor. But as I said, the country was going through some challenges, and New Amsterdam sort of lost some of its glory because New Amsterdam had the electrical installation that used to make money. It was an economic venture for the council. And then they also had the water treatment plant, which was also an economic venture. But both were taken away from them. So we came from being a self-sufficient community to a community that had now to pay for electricity and for water.
MP Pilgrim said the town of New Amsterdam suffered a huge economic blow when the Berbice Bridge came on stream. Not that she is opposed to the bridge, but there was nothing to replace what was known to be an economic culture with the shutdown of the ferry Stelling back in 2008.
The people that used to pass through here and the commerce that used to pass through, that dried up. And worst is when the bauxite company was dismantled. It had a very profound effect on the economic life of New Amsterdam. But as I said, New Amsterdam people are resilient and we're bouncing back, especially with the help of this new government. If you go around, you'll see a lot of progress. We just had the Ministry of Public Infrastructure building Lot 39 Stanley Town and Lot 50 Stanley Town. Then there's the East Bank Road that is in progress right now. They're doing well out on the East Bank Road. It's taking some time, but it's coming together.
Following the December 21, 2018 vote in the National Assembly, former government backbencher Charandas Prasad was expelled from the Alliance for Change and consequently Parliament. In his absence, his seat had to be filled. Government in its search selected Pilgrim to represent the residents of Region 6. After taking the oath, the new Member of Parliament was faced with criticisms, first about her being an APNU member, taking the seat of an AFC member. But government's chief whip and Minister of Social Protection, Amna Ali, set the record straight.
Well, there was no other AFC candidate eligible. The other person was Ramayo as a candidate, but I don't know that he is there any longer with the AFC. And so we replaced the person. This is a coalition, so we use the candidates. We no longer look at individual parties. She was extracted from the coalition. But first of all, in Region 6, Charandas Prasad was extracted from the constituency list, which accounts for 25% of the electorate in the National Assembly. Barbara Pilgrim was one of the candidates submitted at the 2015 elections to represent the constituency 2. She, along with the others, were Pat Wolford, Colin Bino, Ramayo, and Charandas Prasad. And so she was extracted from that list. We found that she was the most appropriate person for us to extract, and so we extracted her, because she was a candidate from the list.
Ms. Pilgrim said her tenure in the National Assembly will always be in the interest of the people of Region 6.
I feel very humbled to be able to serve the people of this region because of my political involvement. So many people would call on me to do some things for them. And now that I'm in this position, I think I'll be able to serve them better. Because there are so many things that, that could be done to improve the lot of the people of this region. And I'm honored to be one of them who would be able to contribute towards that. Daddy!
Following her appointment, an article from a local newspaper purported that MP Pilgrim is a citizen of both Guyana and the United States.
That allegation the Member of Parliament said was disheartening, particularly since it is false. She reiterated that no stone will be left unturned in holding the newspaper responsible.
Well, I'm not a U.S. citizen. I lived in the United States of America for a couple of years, but I lived legally. I went there legally and I lived there legally. And my husband decided that the place was too cold for him, and he decided that he will come home. And I came home with him. I have never applied for U.S. citizenship. I have a Guyana passport, which I'm willing to make available for everybody to see. And I was very upset because, you know, the Times had a big headline saying that I'm a U.S. citizen. And when I asked them to retract it, they did not do that. All they said is that something about me denying. But I'm still talking to my lawyers, because they either retract the statement and apologize, or we're going to have to meet in front of the judges. I'm going all out, yes.
The Member of Parliament is grateful to her family, especially her husband, for their support throughout her political journey.
MP Pilgrim is a zealous individual. She is passionate about the development of Guyana, especially the youth. In her words, young people have so much to offer, not only in politics, but in every other area of development in the country. This has been InfoHub Extended. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.
Tell.
Disclosure is important. Encouraging a partner to test can be life-saving. Disclosing or encouraging a partner to test does not have to be your sole responsibility. Professionals can help.
So, you can call and tell them for me?
Yes.
Thank you.
I will tell. I just need some time.
I am HIV positive.
Don't let your doubts and fears get the best of you. Having the other person know their status is just as important as you knowing yours. Partner testing is not only for the other person, but also for you. Encourage your partners to test and disclose.